So last class we were talking about marginal utility, and utility is just measure of satisfaction and how much satisfaction you get from doing an activity. We said marginal utility per dollar measures how much satisfaction you get from every dollar you spent. So the way to calculate marginal utility per dollar is marginal utility divided by price of the product or activity. So we started talking about child obesity, and the way to deal with it is school lunches. So there's French fries and broccoli. Obviously, kids love French fries and they want to eat that over broccoli. But one way to change that could be if we increase the price of French fries, what will happen to your marginal utility per dollar of French fries? It will go down. So if you increase the price of French fries, marginal utility per dollar of French fries will go down. If you decrease the price of broccoli, what will happen? Marginal utility per dollar for broccoli will go up. So if you do this, marginal utility will decrease for French fries. If you decrease the price here, marginal utility will increase. What if we do that and kids still want to eat French fries? Do you think that can happen? That can definitely happen. Well, then just stop selling French fries. Because human psychology, where it comes to human psychology, then sometimes these things don't apply. So kids can still want French fries because of human psychology. And the way of rational thinking could differ in individuals. It can lead to making decisions that go against the goal of maximizing utility. Maximizing utility. Yes.
So I can see like this kind of like potentially leading into something a bit more like confusing later on, but like that's for a different story. But for like intents and purposes for this class, are there going to be questions on like tests and exams where we will have to like factor in like the psychology of?
Okay, so for now and for future, whatever we talk about in class is gonna be on the exam. If there's something that I'm not mentioning, it's not gonna be on the exam. So I don't want you to worry about, whatever I discussed today and in future classes, or I have discussed in the past, can be and will be on the exam. But nothing that I don't discuss. So it's,
What I'm trying to ask is like, so like for this example, is there going to be a question on the test where it's like, where we will have to like think about like the psychology behind like a situation? So like,
if I do a problem that consists of this kind of psychological behavior, then you can expect that. But if I'm not doing a practice problem that includes this kind of psychological behavior, then you don't have to worry about it.
okay.
So this is just to say that sometimes this is not true. Human psychology and behavior can sometimes come in the way of rational thinking, and you can make decisions that differ with maximizing your utility, and that's fine. That's why we're humans, so. Okay. I don't want my students to stress. You guys don't have to stress if you study, if you pay attention, because whatever that's on the exam, it's all from class. It's all from your notes. It's everything we talk about here. So, don't stress about it. Just study. So now we're going to do an example where we calculate marginal utility of meals at home versus eating out, meals outside. So dining out. So meals at home can cost you $5 a meal. The cost of meal at home is $5. Meal outside price is $10 per meal. So I'm going to give you quantity and total utility. This is total utility, TU. Marginal utility is the change in total utility. And marginal utility per dollar is this column right here. So on the exam, you will be given, or on the quiz, you will be given this much information. You will be given quantity and total utility. you will have to calculate the marginal utility, which is utility of one additional quantity, right? And you will have to calculate marginal utility per dollar, which is simply dividing the marginal utility with the price that's given to you, right? Make sense? So now we're going to calculate that. So what is the marginal utility of the first quantity consumed? So what's the utility you're getting from the first quantity? So from 0 to 1, what's the utility you're getting for the first quantity? 100. What's the utility you're getting for the second quantity, from 1 to 2? 60. What's the utility you're getting from the third quantity? 40. From the fourth quantity? 20. From 200 to 220? 20, right? For the fifth quantity? 5. For the sixth quantity? 3. And for the seventh quantity? 0. Okay, now what's the marginal utility per dollar for the first one? So 100 divided by 5 is what? 20. Then 60 divided by 5 is 12. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 3 divided by 5 is 0.6. And 0 divided by 5 is 0. Making sense how we calculate this?
Wait, never mind.
No, do you have a question?
No, I was asking where you got those numbers from, and then I saw P equals 5.
Yeah. Now let's do the same for meals outside. I'm going to give you quantity, and I'm going to give you total utility. You're going to calculate marginal utility, and you're going to calculate marginal utility per dollar. Okay, now let's calculate marginal utility together. So for the first quantity, what's the additional satisfaction or marginal utility you're getting? 210, from 0 to 210. For the first one, you get 210 satisfaction. For the second one, what's the additional marginal utility you're getting? From quantity 1 to 2? 90, yes. Good. What's the, for the third one, what's the additional utility you're getting? 40. Fourth one? 20. Fifth one? 15. Sixth one? 11. 7. 1. Okay. Now let's calculate marginal utility per dollar. We have given the price, so we're going to divide marginal utility by the price. So 210 divided by 10 is 21. It's 90 divided by 10 is 9. 40 divided by 10 is 4. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 1.5 and 1.1, 0.1. Now you're told that their income is $50. And the question is, how much of each will they buy? So you're told their income is $50 and you're asked how many meals are they gonna eat at home and how many meals are they gonna eat at the restaurant. And you have to find that out, given this information. Using your marginal utility per dollar and marginal utility information, you're gonna answer this question. That how much of each are they gonna consume given their income is $50? Actually, let's do income is $10 first. Then we can do income is $50. So first, let's do income is $10. Sorry about that. So if they have $10, are they gonna eat at home or are they gonna eat outside? How do you know that? You're gonna compare the marginal utility they receive